Cassidy.
And I'm Harvey.
Welcome to the Lookouts podcast, Reef Point's track.
This episode is all about how to get your Sea Scouts on TV. The more places you share your Sea Scout ship story, the more people can learn about the amazing program and more youth will be inspired to join. From television to YouTube to Instagram to Facebook, Sea Scouts are all across the digital world and making waves both on the water and online. We will be going into depth on how to grow your ship's media outlets to help recruit more youth to the program throughout today's podcast.
Joining us today is Micaiah the boatswain and Eden the boatswain's mate from Sea Scout Ship Decisive from Kauai, Hawaii. Together, they create and edit videos of their ship's amazing adventures. They not only run their own YouTube channel, which receives hundreds of views, but they even have their own TV show on Oike TV on Hawaii Channel 54. Thousands of people across the island know about their amazing Sea Scout ship.
So, welcome to our guest today. I'll go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves, starting with the Decisive's boatswain, if you wouldn't mind.
Hi, I'm Micaiah, and I'm the boatswain on the SSS Decisive.
Hi guys, I'm Eden. I'm boatswain's mate on Cruising with Decisive.
Perfect. And so we're just going to jump into the first question that we have for you today. So what inspired the both of you to join Sea Scouting in the first place?
The reason I chose because I've always grown up on boats, so I've always had the interest of just learning and just being out on the water, and I just think it's a great thing to do.
Actually, Micaiah recruited me. She called me up and she said, "Hey, do you want to go on this trip?" And I was like, okay. And so I went and I had a great time and I just kept coming back.
Love how passionate you guys are about boating and being on the water. From your amazing adventures, you've been able to film everything that you've done. What first inspired you to begin filming your shipmates and yourselves?
It's kind of like when you go on a vacation and you're going to this crazy new place and you want to document it. You want to show people where you're going. And we're going around the island, so we just decided, why don't we take all of these great places and show people what we're doing?
Have you done any digital media or editing prior to filming your ship?
Nothing more than Instagram.
But your guys' videos are awesome. You're just starting season 2, which I've been watching and joining on. It's been so much fun. How long does it take to film and edit your videos? What editing tools do you use?
We used a small little waterproof camera that we got, and we also have a Pro, which is kind of like a GoPro for underwater shots and all the cool stuff. And we also have a drone, so it's pretty cool.
The camera just kind of floats around the cabin as we're going on our cruises. Everyone's the cameraman. Anyone can pick it up at any time. If we have drills, whoever's closest just grabs the camera and starts filming. Thanks to our community, Huike TV, they've been able to supply a lot of our equipment and a lot of teaching to our crew and staff.
How long does it take to film and edit your videos?
It all depends. I think it depends on how long the cruise is, and
yeah, we usually actually break up episodes to how long a cruise is. So you usually for a 4-day cruise, it'd be about 2 episodes, 2 or 3, depending on what goes on.
So I know you kind of talked about it just now about how you wanted to document when you went and things like that. And that makes a lot of sense to me. I take a lot of pictures when I go somewhere. But what motivated you to begin the YouTube series, Cruising with Decisive? Why not just keep the stuff for yourselves? Or why was it that you decided to put it on YouTube or put it on the public face for other people to see?
Since I've joined, we've always had an Instagram account that we've been posting pictures gradually. And I guess it was kind of a group effort where we kind of was like, wow, this is really cool. We have this great community outreach program that we can join. And it just kind of morphed into this, which was kind of surprising.
Wow. What was your skipper's reaction and your shipmates' reaction to hey, I think we should put this thing on YouTube or TV?
To be honest, me personally, I was starting to be skeptical at first. I was like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make a YouTube channel, and the more we put more effort and more time into it, it's really a cool thing that we're doing, and it's really fun to be able to watch our adventures be posted like that.
Yeah, I definitely think so. They're really cool episodes. I've watched a few myself. So when you got everybody on board to do it, pun intended, right? On board to do it. How many scouts were actually involved with your ship at the time, and how many do we actually see in the videos? Is that everybody that is in your ship when we see the episodes?
Everybody that you see in the videos is on the cruise. Yeah.
Everyone's included always.
Yeah.
Another question that I have, your videos seem so flawless. So I'm wondering, do you film everything really spontaneously or do you follow a storyboard?
Definitely spontaneous. Everything is just whoever can get to the camera first. I'll be bored sometimes, or I'll be making a sandwich and I'll pick up the camera and just start filming Skipper or the cat or Makaya.
Yeah, it all depends really, but it's just, we just do what we want and create comedy and just be ourselves.
I love watching you guys. Everything that you do is just so cool. I live in Colorado, which is a landlocked state. So when I see you guys out in the ocean in Hawaii, I'm so jealous. What stories have you shared? What's your favorite story?
Well, my first cruise, we have a tiny island off of our coast called Niihau, and my first cruise was going around all the way to Niihau, which was a big trip. And when I first got on the boat, we anchored in a small Honolulu Bay, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. How could this get any better? And the next day we venture up the Nepali coast, which is this gorgeous landline. The water's crystal clear. There's dolphins, turtles, fish, other people on their boats, jet skis, people are surfing. It's magical. It's insane. I can't even believe I get to do this. And it's so cool because the boat's kid-led. We get to drive the boat. We're the ones filming. We get to, hey, why don't we dock over here for a little bit? Or why don't we anchor over there? We get to choose what we're doing. It's not just super program and structured.
What she said.
Why else should everybody watch your videos and your amazing adventures?
I think it shows that kids can lead, and it shows that we're not just kids. It shows that we're motivated to do things and that we should open up and just show the world hey, there's opportunities here and you should come check it out.
That's really awesome. So, and these are really cool videos. And you guys put a lot of work into them. That's pretty obvious. Or sometimes, the editing part's more work, but sometimes it's more spontaneous. But do you have to pay any fees or anything like that to watch the shows, or is it free?
Completely free.
That's really cool. That and that helps, because the scouting community to be able to access these videos and watch them and have fun along with you guys while you have fun on these trips. So how often are your videos actually shown or publicized?
We try to each put them out on our personal Instagram accounts as well as our joint Instagram account with Sea Scouts, and then it's also advertised off of YouTube and word of mouth a lot of the time.
Okay. So is there, because like you mentioned, you put it on different various platforms and stuff, is there any kind of requirements that you have to follow in Sea Scouts or a TV station or anything like else to actually put the stuff out?
I don't think so.
Pretty free.
We haven't run into any negative comments so far, so I'd assume not.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of kids on a boat having fun.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Besides being on Channel 54, have you ever made a press release before or tried being on any other channels?
No, not really. I'd been recognized in someone in our local store Safeway, and that was kind of crazy. I was kind of like, wow, you guys, what? You guys know who I am? And that was kind of like, wow, this is actually happening. And that was just when we first started the YouTube video.
What recommendations do you have for the Sea Scouts who might want to get their stories on TV or start a YouTube channel?
I would say be excited. Just take the excitement you have in your community and reach out, because there's plenty of people that want you to get your story out. It doesn't need to be just you. Teamwork is everything.
Your ship just held a brilliant recruiting event. You held auditions to be on your TV show. What kind of event did this look like? And what applications did you actually have?
We put it out on Instagram and Facebook, and we just spread the word as much as possible that we were going to have auditions looking for kids that were willing to be on film and want to be a part of our amazing crew. And so when the day came, we all set up, we brought food and drinks and everything. And we all like split into stations for like what we're really good at. Like for me, my station was ICF, International Code Flags. Eden was life jackets. And I think one of our other crew members did knots. And so we just like sent the kids that came for the auditions and just went to their stations and did a rotation to teach them some things.
Yeah, so how many kids actually came to audition?
I think it was like, what was it? Like 10 kids, I think, maybe.
Wow, awesome. I mean, yeah, and for Scouts, that's really cool because, as any kids coming in to check out Scouts or be on your show, must have been really awesome for you guys. How many actually ended up joining your ship after that?
I think it was like 3 or 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. So not only was this a really great opportunity for your TV show, but also for recruiting for your Sea Scout ship, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Your retention rate for the event was really high. Normally, when my Sea Scout unit does a recruiting event, we might get 10 people to show up, but maybe if we're lucky, we get 1 or 2 to join. What other recruiting events has your ship done? How successful were they?
Usually we just do corner cruises, which we take the boat out, we let people come and hang out. Up until now, it's been mostly word of mouth, like how I joined was word of mouth. I think this recruiting event was super successful and super fun. It turned into just a great big party that we all came. Everyone had a great time, and my advice to anyone trying to recruit is just make it a memorable experience. Have something different that kids don't normally do, because that's really what they're going to remember when they're thinking back to what Sea Scouts is.
Your audition idea was certainly so unique. I don't know any other Sea Scout ships who have their own show on TV. Will you hold another audition in the future?
If all goes well, then yeah, I'd assume we would.
Definitely.
So you just completed filming your first season of Cruising with Decisive. What are your hopes for filming your second season, and what's the plans? What does it look like? What can we expect? What can the fans hope for?
Well, we are in need of a haul-out cruise. We need to get that boat out. We need to put some work on. We are planning this weekend to start working. So our next episode is going to be mostly maintenance, what we're going to be doing and sprucing up the boat.
Okay, perfect. And so there'll be a lot of working under the deck, right? The deck work of Sea Scouts. The nitty-gritty, what actually happens on the boat. That's really cool. So with that being in mind, because there's a lot of work that goes into being a Sea Scout. A lot of people don't know this because when you see things on, social media stuff too, like you see things when it's advertised on social media on TV shows, sometimes you only get the cool parts of it or the fun parts, but there's a lot of work that goes into it as well. But with that in mind, what's been your favorite video to make?
There's been so many.
There's been a lot. I think my favorite video is when our producers don't use me as a thumbnail, because they really like to pick those hilarious pictures. Like our last cruising one, I was edited into a gangster. We're not going to look at that one. I would love the ones with the thumbnails of Makaya or another crew member.
We should make them stickers, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's awesome. So what's your favorite Sea Scouting memory? Like it could be a trip or something you've done in Sea Scouts in general.
There's so many. Yeah,
I love it when we go to the neighboring dock and we dock up and we get to go up to the stores on the other side of the island, because as you know, we live on a pretty small island, but I still don't really go to the other side of the island too much. I kind of stay in my little slice. We get to dock at Port Allen, and the first time we did that, we got to walk up, we got ice cream cones, food, we got to hang out. Showering was super nice after 5 days. Showering's pretty fun. But my favorite memory is we all got out of the boat and we wound up our t-shirts and we wound them up so we could make little whips, and we had a little game of tag where we ran around the port, which was pretty funny looking.
I think I think any scout can sympathize with you there that showering is the best part of scouting in general. Between that and eating, I think that's like everybody's top tier favorite. And also, I find it kind of hilarious. It's like, well, we just stick to our side of the island, like, no big deal, just, our island, it's whatever. It's just whatever. But that's a really cool memory. How about you, Micaiah?
My favorite memory and probably our last Polo Holly cruise was honestly which is on the other side of the island, kind of the same area as where Eden was saying by Port Allen. It's just the beach was closed off due to COVID and crazy stuff. So we kind of had like the whole west side to ourselves. And so we had like more like beautiful crystal clear water. It was just magical.
It was amazing. The water was 50 feet, and you could easily see down to the bottom. And in the morning, we were literally surrounded by whales, or not whales, like that, dolphins. Surrounded. It was insane. It was the most I've ever seen.
Wow, that's really magical. That's really amazing.
Great. That sounds so fantastic. You were surrounded by dolphins. That's majestic.
So cool.
From your videos, you also have a stowaway. Can you tell us more about her? I love cats, so I want to learn more.
Sailor and Kiko have a mind of their own, that is for sure. We can never leave dock without both of them. We need them on the cruise. Their personality just adds so much to the entire experience.
And for those that are listening and that don't know what this is, can you explain?
So we have Sailor and Kiko. They are both cats living on the ship. Sailor is a little gray one, and Kiko is the more skittish, blue-eyed white one. And they're cats. That's another part.
So are they your skipper's cats, or do they live on the dock and just join you guys?
They were originally feral cats, that were rescued by the crew and members and stuff.
Well, I want my own boat cat. I'm jealous. How else do you get the word out about your ship to the community? Is there anything else beyond social media?
Word of mouth is a big one. Yeah, everyone knows each other on the island. Everyone's close-knit, families, and then it just kind of gets spread. You send one picture to one person, and it goes around the island.
Yeah, word spreads really fast here.
So between social media, or like between the two social media platforms that are kind of big that we use, being Instagram and Facebook, which one do you think is bigger outreach?
Personally, being someone not on Facebook, I would say Instagram is a bigger outreach.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess more youth are kind of on Instagram anyway, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So, and have you recruited any members through those outlets? Through just like you Instagram DM somebody, or someone's Instagram DM you guys, and they're like, "Hey, what's this thing about Sea Scouts all about, and how do I join?"
Yeah, we have kids that will just contact us and be like, "Hey, we saw you in the videos and we just want to come check it out." I'm like, "Yeah, of course, just come to the meetings, and just if you like it, then come." And
yeah.
I'd seen Micaiah go on cruises for many, many years before I ever joined, and I never was really interested because I was kind of just like, this seems weird. Like, you can really just show up and go on this boat around an island, just do that? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, okay. And for my advice is, anyone out there who's wondering what it's like, just go on a cruise or go show up and see what it's like, because it's really fun.
Definitely. And I have one thing to add on for my questions here before we move on to the last part. What does the path of advancement look like for you guys? Because it sounds like you have a lot of fun doing these things, but in scouting in general, is there a path for you guys to move forward in the scouting program, in Sea Scouting specifically?
Yeah, definitely.
Basically just go on your own. So like, forever how fast you want to progress, you have to do that yourself. You go to a skipper and you say, hey, I want to do this, and then he'll always line you up and help you out and just move you forward as you want to progress.
Along with the cruises, we have weekly meetings, so every meeting, we work on different skills. We get new people caught up, because you never want someone not knowing what they're doing on a boat, because it is a lot of work, as everyone knows, or everyone here knows. And so we always work on skills. And basically what Micaiah says, you approach Skipper and say, hey, I want to advance, and he'll help you out in whatever way possible. And because the boat is kid-led, we are leading our own advancement. So we are all kind of working.
Great how driven all of you guys are. You get to go boating and you have your weekly meetings as well. It really is a youth-led experience with you guys in Hawaii. Once you age out, who in your ship will take over the videos? Are you mentoring scouts right now, or does everybody kind of know how to film?
Well, our crew's very diverse. We're personally 15 and we have younger crew members, and my hopes are people just keep coming in and adding on to this crew.
We kind of just, like what Eden said, we're both 15, so we're just like, we're teaching the youngers. Like we have a bunch of younger crewmates, so we're teaching them our jobs so that we can just kick up our heels and enjoy the cruise, and just showing them to take over when we age out eventually.
Perfect.
Me personally, I have 2 younger brothers that are both they're just waiting until they can join. They're so excited. So also siblings are definitely a big part of that.
How old are they?
I have one brother who just turned 13. He's hoping to go on the next cruise. And then I have a little 8-year-old who runs around the house with his friends that are all so excited.
That's really awesome. Yeah, I have a lot of, the younger kids here that are looking forward to go kayaking with us, because that's what we do mostly at my ship, is kayaking and canoeing and stuff like that. And they're just looking forward to go kayaking with the big boys one day and the big girls one day to go out and have a good adventure. But yeah, so that's really awesome. So just kind of to bring it all together. So why should Sea Scouts film and post their ship and shipmates onto YouTube or TV? Or what could the experience be like for them?
I think that when people see Sea Scouts, they don't understand exactly what it is we're doing. Because I know everyone's ship's different, but here, when you hear about it, it's not what it really is. And I think you really want to be a part of it. And the videos are a great way to show people what you're doing, how to join, how cool it really is. And it helps get word out there about what Sea Scouts is and how to join.
Perfect.
Yeah, because some kids, they'll be like you say, oh, come join Sea Scouts. And they're like, it's Sea Scouts. Like they think like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts going into the mud and having fun. But I think in the videos, it like really shows them how much fun we have and how much adventure we have.
Yeah, I think that for a lot of times when I have to explain what Sea Scouts is to people, for sometimes I used to do the whole, well, you know what Scouts BSA is, right? Yeah, it's basically just we're Scouts BSA on water, but there's just so much more to that than that, summary of what Sea Scouting is. There's a whole community that's built around it, and it's a whole new adventure and a whole new experience that's really there. So I think the videos are really great to showcase that, definitely.
Sea Scouts is such a unique program. You could be a Sea Scout anywhere across the country, from Hawaii to Florida to Colorado. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, or give any more advice to the Sea Scouts and Scouters listening?
I say just be yourself and just have so much fun and just enjoy it, because I think it's a great opportunity to learn responsibility and just being out there. I just think it's great.
In our skipper's words, the sea does not give participation awards. I think, especially for us living on an island and people everywhere, the ocean is a giant part of my life personally, and I think Sea Scouts is a great way to get out on it and know what's going on and understand more of where I'm living.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think my skipper would agree that the ocean doesn't give any second chances, but the interesting thing about it is that we're all connected by the sea in some way. So it's really cool to think about. So with that, I think that kind of brings us to a close. I want to thank you both for taking the time to talk with us about what you do in your ship and how you put that together, this TV show for everybody. I think it's really awesome. And I'm hoping that other Sea Scouts in the nation are, excited to take part in this kind of same thing in the future. But for now, thanks for joining us today on our podcast, the Lookouts Sea Scout podcast. If you have any suggestions for future podcasts, just email us at podcast@seascouts.org. I'm Harvey.
I'm Cassie.
We'll see you all next week on the Lookouts podcast.